I never thought that a summer evening in Santa Monica would end like this. The sky was painted with streaks of pink and orange, and the salty breeze teased my hair. And yet, there he was, standing rigid on the cliff edge, his tailored navy suit flapping like a banner of his pride. Damien, with his sharp jawline and stormy blue eyes, looked nothing like the man who had once traced my name on a cocktail napkin in a crowded bar, whispering promises that made my heart stutter. Now, every inch of him screamed hatred, and I couldn't tell if it was for me or for himself. "You really think I'd let you walk away this easily?" His voice cracked, betraying a fury that was almost frightened. I laughed, bitter and wet, the sound swallowed by the crashing waves below. "Walk away? Damien, you've been trying to push me away for weeks, but I've never left." My wet hair clung to my forehead, my skin prickling from the ocean spray and the chill that had nothing to do with the water. I stepped closer to the cliff's edge, feeling the unstable rocks beneath my soaked boots. He grabbed at my arm, and for a second, the world seemed to pause. His touch was like fire on frozen skin, and I could see the internal battle raging in his expression, the anger, the fear, the longing he couldn't admit. "Don't do this," he hissed, his voice trembling despite the bravado he always wore like armor. "Too late," I whispered, feeling the pull of the tide, the reckless surge of desperation. And then I let go. The wind roared in my ears as I fell, a mixture of panic and freedom coursing through me. The splash was violent, cold, and real, and for a heartbeat, the world narrowed to the roar of water and my own heartbeat. Damien's scream followed me into the waves. It wasn't just a cowlit, it was a fracture, a crack in the perfect facade he had built over years. I surfaced, gasping, the water stinging my lungs, and for the first time in months, I felt seen, not the charming, pliant version he wanted. Not the obedient boy who laughed at his jokes, but me, raw and alive. He was there instantly, scrambling down the jagged rocks, his shoes slipping on wet stone, hands outstretched. "Jules, don't. His voice broke again, and for the first time, his arrogance had no place, only pure fear. I let the waves carry me closer, feeling the faint brush of his fingertips against my wrist, then my shoulder, as if he was trying to tether me to life, to reality. I didn't fight him. In fact, a part of me longed for him to reach out, to pull me into the safety of his arms, to whisper that everything would be fine. When he finally got close enough, he collapsed beside me in the shallows, his suit soaked, hair plastered to his forehead, and for a long moment we just stared at each other. Damien's blue eyes, so often cold and calculating, were wide, frantic, haunted by something that didn't belong in his usual world of contracts and courtrooms. I thought I lost you," he muttered, voice hoarse, barely above the sound of the waves. His hands shook as he traced the line of my jaw, memorizing the warmth that only water could reveal. "You never lost me?" I said softly, letting a tired smile tug at my lips. "You tried, though. For weeks, you tried to push me away, Damien." He flinched, as if the truth of my words hurt him more than the cold sea. I didn't want to," he admitted, voice trembling. "I wanted to God. I wanted to hate you so badly. I needed to, because if I didn't, I'd lose myself completely." I reached for his hand, and for the first time he didn't pull away. Instead, he let me hold him, and the weight of months of tension, miscommunications, and unspoken feelings pressed into us both, raw and unyielding. The sun dipped lower, bleeding gold across the horizon, painting our wet, shivering forms in a surreal glow. "You're impossible," he whispered, a rueful smile breaking through his stormy expression. "And yet here we are," I replied, laughing softly through the salty haze. "Both impossible and somehow perfect." The waves continued to crash, indifferent to our drama, but I felt a strange sense of calm, a warmth spreading through me. We weren't out of the storm yet, far from it, but in that moment, tangled in salt water and emotion, the distance between us finally seemed to shrink. Damien's forehead rested against mine, the scent of his cologne mingling with the sea, and for a fleeting, perfect moment, I knew everything might be okay. The sun had finally dipped below the horizon, leaving the sky awash in violet and deep indigo, the first stars blinking awake. Damien and I stood side by side on the sand, soaked through and shivering, but neither of us seemed to notice the cold. His hand found mine, fingers intertwining as naturally as if we had always belonged there together. "I can't believe I almost let you go," he whispered, voice low, haunted. His usual poise was gone, replaced with a vulnerability that made my chest ache. "I thought I had to hate you, to survive. But the truth is, I'd rather drown than lose you." I squeezed his hand, feeling the tremor that ran through him. "You don't have to hate me, Damien. You never did. And neither did I. We just got lost along the way." He laughed softly, a shaky, disbelieving sound. "Lost? Jules, I nearly watched you leap into the sea because I couldn't admit what I felt. That's not just lost. That's insane." I leaned into him, letting my forehead rest against his. "Maybe, but sometimes you have to go a little insane to find what's real." The waves lapped at our feet, washing away the sand around us, as if the ocean itself wanted to cleanse the tension and heartache of the past weeks. Damien didn't reply immediately. Instead, he pulled me closer, wrapping his arms around me like a shield against the world. I felt the warmth of him seeping into me, filling the emptiness I hadn't realized had been there for so long. His hands were firm yet gentle, holding me with the care of someone who had finally acknowledged the depth of their feelings. "I don't ever want to lose this again," he murmured into my hair. "Not you, not us. I'm done pretending I don't care. I'm done pushing you away." "You won't have to anymore," I said, smiling despite the salt water dripping down my cheeks. "I'm not going anywhere." We sat on the sand, letting the night envelope us. Damien's forehead rested against mine as we talked in whispers, sharing fragments of our thoughts, regrets, and fears. The city lights of Santa Monica twinkled faintly in the distance, but here, on the beach, it felt as if the world had shrunk to just the two of us, connected in a way that neither law, pride, nor fear could sever. "I always wanted to be the one to protect you," Damien admitted, voice barely audible over the gentle roar of the ocean. "I didn't know how to do it without losing myself." "You don't have to protect me anymore," I said softly. "We can protect each other now." His lips brushed mine in a tentative kiss, hesitant at first, like testing the waters of this new chapter. But then it deepened, fueled by months of unspoken desire and pent-up emotions. The world around us faded, leaving only the taste of salt and the warmth of each other's embrace. When we finally pulled away, our foreheads still touching, Damien smiled the genuine, unguarded smile I had been craving for so long. "You're impossible, Jules," he said, his voice lighter now, teasing but tender. "And yet, you love me anyway," I replied, my own grin matching his. He laughed softly, shaking his head. "Yeah, I guess I do." The tension that had gripped us both for weeks melted into the night air, replaced by something calmer, something hopeful. We stayed there for hours, talking, laughing, and occasionally just sitting in silence, letting the gentle waves wash over our feet. The ocean had witnessed our fears, our desperation, and now our reconciliation. I realized that our love wasn't built on perfection, but on survival, honesty, and the courage to face the storms together. By the time the moon hung high in the sky, casting a silver glow across the water, we finally stood to leave. Damien took my hand in his again, squeezing it with a silent promise. "No more running, no more hiding. Whatever comes next, we face it together." I nodded, feeling a deep sense of peace I hadn't known in months. Together, we walked along the shoreline, footprints mingling in the wet sand, the ocean continuing its endless rhythm beside us. Every wave felt like a reminder that life was unpredictable, messy, and sometimes cruel but also beautiful, especially when you had someone willing to dive into it with you, hand in hand. When we reached the parking lot, Damien stopped, turning to face me. His eyes, the same stormy blue I had once feared, were now soft and filled with warmth. "You know," he said, a playful smirk tugging at his lips. I almost feel bad for scaring you like that. I laughed, shaking my head. Almost. Almost, he confirmed, pulling me into a tight hug. Because I love you, Jules. Every impossible, maddening, infuriating part of you. And I finally get to say that without fear. My heart swelled as I hugged him back. I love you too, Damien. More than the ocean. More than the sky. More than any words could ever say. And in that moment, standing under the stars, soaked and shivering yet inexplicably warm, we both knew that the worst was behind us. The heartbreak, the fear, the desperation, they had brought us here, stronger and more certain than ever. We drove home that night with the windows down, the salty breeze in our hair, the city lights blurring past. Laughter filled the car as Damien told ridiculous stories from law school, and I playfully teased him, finally free from the tension that had hung over us for weeks. That night, in a small apartment in Los Angeles, wrapped in blankets and holding each other close, we fell asleep with the knowledge that no matter what storms might come, we had found our anchor in each other. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't just survive. I was home. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.